Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Mexican Fiesta. My name is Amy Silver. I am a senior leader with Epicure in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. And today I am taking you through our Good Mexican Real Fast kit. Thank you so much for joining us. A little bit about me is that I have been with Epicure for 15 years, 5 years as a customer and host, and the last 10 years as a food ambassador and a leader. And I love that I can share good food with my community. I started when my children were quite small. They were 2 and 4 years old. And I really did not want to go back to my job in the finance industry. And I felt so strongly that I just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Fortunately, along with having my kids, along came postpartum depression, and that made being that stay-at-home mom that I wanted to be very difficult because I didn't want to be around my kids, and it was a struggle for me. So Epicure really did allow me to get out in the evenings and in other pockets of time and just be with other adults and talk about food and cook and share, which it was everything that I needed to come home and feel refreshed and be that mom that I wanted to be. And so now, fast forward all these years later, my boys are now teenagers, and they are learning good food basics, and I get to be there for everything that I wanted to be there for. Pre-pandemic, about anywhere between 40 to 80% of people were eating out frequently, more than once a week. And within this pandemic, we've all had to pivot and learn how to cook at home. And some people were doing this for the first time ever and really learning how to cook with what they had on hand because we had limited grocery supplies. And Epicure really is the answer to get easy, healthy, and delicious food on your table in no time at all. And our products, we're a Canadian company. We've been in business as a direct sales company for 25 years, based out of Victoria, BC. We're family-owned, women-led. We branched out into the US about a year and a half ago, and so now we are teaching a whole new country about our good food mission. We are designed to again, get food out quickly. So thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to look at our Good Mexican Real Fast kit. This kit is available in 2 ways. It is available as a full meal kit in which comes all of the food products that you need, along with the beautiful multi-purpose steamer and the citrus press. So that is available all as one package, or you are able to purchase just the food items themselves. So that is 2 packets of our enchilada mix, as well as the fajita, the guacamole, and the Poco Picante salsa, which have been staples in our catalog forever. So today we are making a chicken fajita dish. While the chicken is cooking, I did want to talk to you about the enchiladas because it's brand new and it's fabulous. So we are going to be doing a lot of microwave cooking because that is fast, and it actually is. Harvard University and some other universities have done studies. Microwave cooking is actually a very healthy way because it cooks so quickly and it keeps the most nutrients in the food. But what you need to watch out for, and the part that keeps it the most nutritious, is what you are using to cook your food. We use silicone. It is an FDA approved food grade silicone product that has no BPA in it as well, so it's not going to leach anything into your food. It makes your cooking times, especially in the microwave, it conducts the heat beautifully. It gives an even cooking time to everything. If you don't have a microwave, you don't want to use a microwave, you just want some versatility, they are oven safe up to 450 degrees. And they make a beautiful casserole style dish, or this one in particular is a nice loaf pan for cooking banana breads and meatloafs and such in it as well. So what we're going to do, I have got 1 chicken breast in here that I've just defrosted, and to this I am going to add our fajita seasoning. This is a beautiful seasoning. The more you use, the more the heat layers and builds on it, but on its own it is not a very hot product. We also have a taco seasoning, which is fabulous, and it has robust flavorings in a different way. So I just used our 4-in-1 spice spoon. Every kitchen needs to have at least 2 of these. I say 1 for your wet and 1 for your dry ingredients. And it is beautiful. It has measurements on it for a tablespoon, a teaspoon. Flip it over and you've got a 1/4 teaspoon and a 1/2 teaspoon as well. And so I just sprinkled about, oops, there goes my earring. I just sprinkled about a 1/2 teaspoon of the fajita seasoning into just onto my chicken. You could add some sliced onion and some pepper in there as well, should you wish, but you don't need to add any water or any oil or anything. It is ready to go in the microwave just like this. So I'm going to pop the lid on and put it in the microwave. Start with 4 minutes because it's only a single chicken breast, and I know that my microwave is quite powerful. So we're going to start with 4 minutes. Usually 5 minutes is about the max I'd go for chicken breast, again, depending on how thick they are cut. While that is in there, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make a sweet treat for our dessert today. We are going to go with a chocolate pudding. I love this pudding. My kids love this pudding. They can make it themselves very quickly, which they then claim makes it their pudding and that they get to eat the whole thing, which is not the case. So this pudding, actually, the ingredients are organic coconut palm sugar, modified tapioca starch, organic cocoa powder, and sea salt. That's it. That's all that's in this packet. So to this, I just dumped it in the bowl. And to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. I use almond milk, that's what we drink in our home, but it works well with any of your types of milk, whether you're using a dairy milk or a non-dairy milk. So I'm going to add that into my bowl and use my beautiful little mini whisk to whisk everything together. And so what you're going to do is I'm going to whisk it for about a minute. You could do 2 minutes if you wish, but once it's all incorporated, you will start to feel some drag on the whisk as it does start to thicken up. So I'm just going to keep whisking this up. You can see this, but it's already starting to put some drag onto my pudding. So now I'm just going to pop this aside while we wait for our chicken to finish cooking. But what Mexican meal would be complete without our salsa and our guacamole? Before we jump over to those, I am going to talk a little bit about our enchilada, which comes in a meal kit. This is delightful and so easy to make. You can make it fully in the microwave with the multi-purpose steamer, or you can make them, roll them, and put them in the oven and bake them. Either way, perfect. But all you need to do is add your tomato paste with some water. It takes a little bit of coconut oil and some lime juice and some black beans, and that's it. You can mix it all to combine, put it in your rolls, roll it up, and you can either pop it back in the microwave with the sauce on top or bake it in the oven, and it is delightful. In addition to this, something extra that you can add on is our ooey gooey queso sauce. Phenomenal. Try not to eat it all with a spoon. I love this sauce so much. This sauce is made with milk and cheese and the seasoning, and that is it, and it is absolutely fantastic. Now we're going to hop on over and see what is cooking over here. So we have our tomatoes. So normally when I make my salsa at home, I can either use a fresh tomato or I can use canned tomatoes. Canned tomatoes are actually higher in lycopene, which is an antioxidant that is released from the tomato only under heat and high pressure. So it's still in your tomato as a raw ingredient, but your body's not going to absorb it the same way as it would a cooked tomato. Today we're using fresh. I'm going to use our beautiful ceramic, super sharp chef's knife just to dice up this tomato. So a cup of diced tomato is all you need. Of course, you can increase that depending on the amount of people in your home and the size of the batch you wish to make. But it comes together so beautifully. You can add, if you wish to have extra ingredients in there, like some pepper or some onion, you go right ahead. This is your salsa. I also love it as a fruit salsa with either some mango or some pineapple. And to this, we are adding, I'm going to add almost a full tablespoon of our Poco Picante salsa. This is a medium salsa, but the more you add, the hotter it gets. I usually start with just under a full tablespoon because it is quite hot. Give that a little stir. And really, this is it. This salsa would be ready to go. I'm going to let it sit a little bit just so that those seasonings in it will rehydrate a little bit so they're not quite crunchy, but that's it. It's ready to go. So let's check our chicken. This chicken absolutely actually looks perfect. It might not need any more time. Yeah, this chicken is done perfectly. So it is ready to go, perfectly cut through. When I do my in-person cooking classes, and even when I do my virtual ones, I often will ask, who just loves microwave chicken? Nobody raises their hand. I usually get a lot of crazy looks. With our steamers, it allows the moisture to be retained in the chicken so that it's not escaping, it's not becoming dry or rubbery as you're having your meal, which is really what you want. You want a nice, delicious, tender, juicy chicken. So we've got our chicken, we've got our salsa, our pudding is setting. We need some guacamole to go along with this. So I have here an avocado. This is an almost perfectly ripe avocado, but it's not completely ripe yet. What you want to look for, the darker the outer skin, the better. This one still has some brighter green on it, which tells me it's not quite as ripe as I want it. You can also remove the stem and take a look at the color under there. That color is almost the right color. There is some give when I give it a squeeze, so I know that it's going to be ripe enough for what we're doing today. But if I was making a larger batch of guacamole, or if I was picking out an avocado in the store, I would look for one just a touch riper than this. The joke with avocado is that it is not yet, not yet. Eat me now, too late, because that's how quickly they do seem to ripen. So I am going to, I've just sliced it open, and I used to very carefully slice out the avocado and throw it into a bowl because my children ate a lot of avocado as youngsters. But I am just making a guacamole, so it doesn't need to be precisely cut out of there. There is a little bit more rigidity to it, it's sticking a little bit more, but it will still make, we'll still be able to mash it up, and it will still make a good guacamole for us. Back in the day when we were doing live demos, I would have all of you guests up here helping me out. Everybody would be making something a little bit different, pulling it all together so that we could have a delicious meal together. That's one thing that I love the most from doing my classes. I love cooking and eating with people, and it is a blast. So what I'm using, this is actually our meat separator, and I'm just using I'm using it to mash up the avocado into some smaller chunks so that we can then add in the seasoning. To this, I am going to add a tablespoon of our guacamole seasoning. Before Epicure, I would just make my guacamole with avocado and garlic, and that was fine. That was delicious. I started with Epicure, and I first discovered our guacamole mix. I thought, why would I ever need to do that? And I don't think I've made it with just plain garlic since I discovered Epicure, because this is so easy and so delicious. And so it is coming together a little bit harder than I would typically like for my guacamole, but I know it's going to be delicious. Just mash it all up and it'll be good. I would love for you to comment in the comments below. Let me know, do you like avocado? Do you not like avocado? Do you like to add cilantro? Do you like to, what else would you add to your guacamole, to your salsa? Let me know what you think of this cuisine, and let me know what you would like to do if you were doing your own cooking demo, because I'm sure we can get you sorted out with that. So there we have it. We've got our delicious guacamole with our salsa and our chicken, which is fabulous. And I am just going to get a squeeze of lemon juice with our citrus press. That lime was pretty dry from the back of my fridge, and I just squeezed out a fair bit of juice from it, and there's still quite a lot of juice left in it. So I just added that into my guacamole. And we are ready to eat, and our pudding, if you can see, has thickened up quite a bit. It's got sort of a mousse-like texture to it right now, so that is going to be fabulous. I often like making that pudding with a little splash of Baileys as well. I'll replace some of the milk with Baileys. Delicious boozy pudding. So there you have it. We have our Mexican meal from raw to ready, under 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear in the comments below what you would make next. Thank you so much for joining us.